Hi, my name is Thomas Grunbeck, and I'm passionate about all areas of paraplanning. Today, I'd like to talk to you about how outcomes in Wealthbox can transform your workflows from a couple of workflows to a streamlined approach as a result of a decision or event. Now, let's go into Wealthbox and see how this is done. So now we're here in Wealthbox under workflows, and we would go to our manage templates to see our workflow templates. Here we have two typical workflows that are a little bit simplified that financial advisors like to use: a prospect and onboarding. Here you'd see the prospect, the first meeting, the follow-up with an email, and maybe decision of that prospect that wants to become a client or does not. Depending upon their decision, you'd have to come back to the workflow here. You'd have to go back to the manage templates. Then you have to go to the onboarding if the prospect wants to move forward as a client. So you go here to the onboarding process. You'd send a welcome email. You'd send an invoice. You confirm updated client details. You'd send an invitation to the financial planning software. But what happens when you don't want to keep going back to the workflows to start a new workflow, but you want to combine it into one in order to streamline your processes? So here we have another one called prospect to onboarding. And here we use outcome. So you can see here, there's two outcomes here on the decision. We can come here, we can edit and see here you could create an outcome here, but here we created the outcome here. You can create another outcome if you want as well. So here we said no, complete the workflow. Yes, now let's move to the next step. Send a welcome email using the outcomes feature. But now let's see how it works when we start the workflow. So prospect to onboarding, you start the workflow like a normal workflow. Here you would select the family. So we're going to select the Smith family. And then the start date of the workflow might be when the meeting is for the prospect. So you'd start the workflow. So you'd have your first meeting. Maybe after 7 days, you haven't heard from the prospect. You follow up with an email. And then you have a decision that the prospect made. So you go complete step, and the prospect doesn't want to move forward. You would say no. Maybe write why the prospect didn't want to move forward if they have an explanation. And then you would say submit. And now your workflow is complete. But we're going to restart it now just for demonstration purposes. And we're going to come back to the completed step. And we're going to say the prospect wants to move forward and become a client, which is awesome. So we'd say yes, send a welcome email. We'll complete that step. Just kind of going through the steps here just to show you what happens at the end. And then send an invoice. Great, yes. Confirm updated client details. This might be from one of your integration tools like Precise FP, Jot Forms using Zapier, or another integration, but just what you want just to make sure that the updated client details are correct. So you just want to have those confirmed. You say yes, confirmed. And you send an invitation to the financial planning software, complete. And now see your workflow is completed. And now your prospect onboarding is complete. And that's how you take two workflows and combine it into one and have a streamlined approach for your workflow templates. And you combine more than two workflows and save yourself some time and efficiency by not every time completing a workflow going back and starting a new workflow, but have it keep going using outcomes in Wealthbox.